may be repetitive. So in this video, I want to introduce how to use Microsoft Excel to calculate this type of problem, Microsoft Excel. So I just opened a new spreadsheet. Okay, suppose let me name one column present value. And we know interest rate. Let me be lazy. Let me just put I, interest rate. And I know time period T, right? I want you to calculate future value. So let me center everything here. Suppose you know the present value is 1,000 US dollars. Let me convert the unit to US dollar. And suppose the interest rate is 3%. So I want to convert it into a percentage. So 3%. Okay, for how long? For 5 years, right? So then what's the future value for 1,000 US dollars? You put in the savings account today, right? With annual interest rate 3% for 5 years. How to figure out the future value? So here I can figure out the intermediate step. So what's my intermediate step? So here this part equals parenthesis 1 plus 3%, right? Overall, raised to the power. How many years? 5. Let me call this number, let me give the name called the factor. Then what's the future value? Future value equals present value, right? Multiplies this number. So the future value for 1,000 US dollars, 3% annual interest rate, 5 years, right? Is equal to $1,159.27. And you may have figured out what the heck this factor is, right? That is exactly here. This part, let me color it blue and put it bold. So here, I use a separate column, this cell, right, to calculate this component first. 1 plus interest rate overall raised to the power T, time, right? So this part essentially is an intermediate step. And how to calculate the future value, which is present value multiplies this factor. So this is the answer here, right? So that means you essentially have programmed this cell. So for example, if you have a different question, right, you don't have to repeat this process. Suppose in another question, you know, if the present value is equal to $500, right, and the annual interest rate instead of 3% is 6%, and you put your money there for 11 years. See, since you have programmed this cell, it calculates everything automatically. So you don't have to repeat this process every time. So with a $500 present value, 6% annual interest rate, and you leave your money in a savings account for 11 years, right? So the future value will be $949.50. And if you don't like this interest rate, 1%, and it calculates this number automatically. This is how you go from present value to future value, right? We can reverse this process. So let me open another sheet. Suppose now, for another type of question, you know future value, you know interest rate, you know year, how long, right? And you are asked to figure out present value. So for example, for this question, suppose you know the future value is $4,250. Let me convert it into dollar. And interest rate here, 2%. And I want to convert it into percentage, not 200. Retype the 2 here. And for how long? How many years? 5 years here. Here, right? So how to calculate present value? Remember this formula here. This is the key, right? So present value equals the future value divided by this part, which is called what? Factor, right? In my previous example, So the factor is equal to 1 plus interest rate overall raised to power t. So again, I'm going to calculate the factor. What is my factor? So first, select the cell, right? Type equal, parenthesis, 1 plus this number, select the cell, closing parenthesis, raised to power, type this symbol, raised to power, which one? Select the cell, and enter. This is the factor, right? But how to calculate present value? So present value equals what? Future value. So select the cell, right? Divided by, type division, divided by factor, enter. $3,849.36. This is exactly the same like what we did previously, right? So the beauty of using spreadsheet is, so for example, you may have many questions in the homework asking the same type of question, just with different combination of numbers, right? So in another question, you may know the future value equal to $8,000, right? And suppose you know the annual interest rate is 6%, and the money has been there for 3 years, and it calculates present value automatically according to its formula. So if you know the future value is $8,000, annual interest rate is 6%, and the money has been there for 3 years, the present value, that means the money 3 years ago, is $6,716.95. Okay, so finally, I want to talk about how to do question 25 in your homework number 14. So you have a contract with someone who has agreed to pay you $20,000 in 4 years. So that means the future value, the 4-year had a future value you may receive is $20,000, right? That is one option. And this person also offers you to give you, this person gives another option. She offered to pay you now instead. So that means you have to make a choice. You either receive some of the money she pays you right now, or you're going to receive $20,000, not now, but in 4 years. So which option is better? It depends, right? Here, you have 4 possible offers, the amount of money you can take right now, right? You need to compare the future value for the amount of money this agent offers you right now, plus the prevailing interest rate, right? You need to compare this future value with $20,000, right? To see which number is bigger in 4 years. Then you're going to pick that option. Okay, so here you know the future value. One option for you is to take $20,000, not now, in 4 years, right? And you have 4 possible offers right now. So you may take $14,000 right now with 8% interest rate. You may take $16,000 right now with 7% interest rate. Or you may take $15,000 right now with 6% annual interest rate. So which option is better? That means which option gives you a future value in 4 years, which will be bigger than 20,000 US dollars. We can use a spreadsheet to calculate this question. So we know present value, interest rate, year, and factor, future value. So let me create a bunch of headers first. So present value here for these options, right? We have 14K, 16K, 15K, 16K. So 4 possible options. Let me convert them into dollar. And they are associated with different interest rate, 8768. Let me convert it into percentage. Okay, for how long the year will be the same? Because you want to compare the future value for each combo, right? The 4-year had future value. You need to compare this 4-year had future value with $20,000. If the future value for this combo is bigger than $20,000, right, then you're going to take this amount of money right now. Otherwise, it's better for you to take $20,000 in 4 years. Okay, so next, I want to calculate the factor to figure out the future value. Remember how to calculate the factor. Equals what? Parenthesis 1 plus 8%, right? Closing parenthesis, raised to the power 4. Now I want to apply this formula to the remaining 3 cells. So I don't have to repeat this process. I can simply select this cell, right? I can drag. That means I'm going to copy this formula to the remaining 3 cells. Then I want to calculate the future value. Future value equals present value multiplies this factor. And I want to copy this formula to the remaining 3. Okay, so we have option A, B, C, and D. You need to compare each combo, the future value, the 4-year had a future value associated with each choice, right? With $20,000 in 4 years. If this combo delivers a higher than $20,000 in 4 years, right? You're going to choose this amount of money right now. Otherwise, you go with $20,000 in 4 years. Now we can see B and D, right? They both give you future value bigger than $20,000. So there are 2 correct answers to this question. Both B and D are correct. That means you can choose either B or D and you will be correct. This is how we can use a spreadsheet to calculate the future value or present value.